Hey there, everybody. My name is Tom, Delia Up MTG Radio, and today is a special day. Do you know why today's a special day? Because we get to play. Because we get to play EDH. You're 100% correct. Not only EDH, but the best. Not only Magic the Gathering, but the best casual format ever, known as EDH. So let's see what we're playing against and what we have. So we're once again playing Mirko Vosk the Mindrinker. Now at this point, you may be saying, Tom, please stop playing Mirko Vosk. And I'll just nicely reply, no, we're going to win with this deck. It's going to happen. This deck is good, I tell you. It's good. This hand isn't good, but this deck is good. And we will win with it. I have utter faith in this deck that it can win the game. It can win an entire 4-person table. So we are going to win with it. I know we are. I know mulligans on this hand. We're playing Mirko Vosk, the Mindrinker. 3 blue and a black for a 2/4 flying legendary vampire. Now, whenever he deals combat damage to a player, that player reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal 4 land cards and put those cards into their graveyard. Now, there's a lot of different ways to build Mirko Vosk decks. We've kind of mentioned all of them before, but we'll go right back down the list again. You can build a blue-black vampire deck. You do miss the power, toughness, bumping power that you get in Dark Ascension, and you get in Innistrad, but still a very good deck. Vampires are vampires, and this tribe is strong in this one. So vampires are always good, and Mirko Vosk is actually a pretty good vampire. You could also go for Dimir Mill, a very common Dimir deck. That being said, all of your opponents do start at about 91 cards in deck, so it's a little bit difficult to really get there with Dimir. But hey, don't let me hurt your dreams. You can do whatever you want to do. It's like the Wanadu City. You can be what you want to be. No, you can do what you want to do. Anyways, so this deck is based off of something different. If you know in the story, Dimir, they always battle from the shadows, and this deck does the same exact thing, but takes it a little bit literally. We're going to literally battle from the shadow with shadow creatures. Shadow creatures have this amazing ability known as Shadow, which means they can only be blocked and block other creatures with the ability Shadow. It's a lot like Horsemanship, which debuted in Portal 3 Kingdoms. Horsemanship, a standout for flying when you couldn't have flying because everyone rode horses. It's pretty cool that way. So this deck uses both Shadow and Cypher cards to get multiple effects off of Cypher. There's a Battlefield. Oh, that's pretty cool. Life Gift coming down. So the next deck we're going to be playing against, we'll just start talking about the Maelstrum Wanderer deck now, is Maelstrum Wanderer. We've already lost once to Maelstrum Wanderer. So we know where we're headed. That answer being at the Maelstrom Wanderer deck. So Maelstrom Wanderer for 5 blue, red, and a green is a 7/5 legendary elemental. It's a mythic rare, in quotation marks, from Plane Chase and creature control of haste. Additionally, it's got double Cascade. Cascade is a super awesome ability that came out of Alara Reborn. Super awesome, just because the mechanics really cool, but not that the greatest for Constructed or Standard. It wasn't very fun to play against. Everyone remembers playing against Bloodbraid Elf, so that's what I mean by that statement. That being said, this is a very popular commander in today's metagame. Rug good stuff. Probably one of the best decks in the current commander metagame. Also air quotes around that one. Things to expect out of Maelstrom Wanderer. There's a lot of specific cards that are just amazing in this deck. You want to watch out for Balefire Dragon. It comes off of this guy with Cascade, gives it haste, and blows out your entire board. You want to watch out for pretty much anything that accelerates the board. Boundless Realms is amazing in this deck. Cultivates, Kadamas Reaches, just undeniably good. On top of that, cards like Crystal Shard allow you to bounce Maelstrom Wanderer a bunch of times, which gets a lot of damage in very quickly. Now this turn we're going to not play the Creeping Tar Pit because I want to activate Inkfathom Witch this turn. What Inkfathom Witch does is each unblocked creature we have become 4/1s, which is pretty cool. The thing is, you don't do it during the Declare Attacker step. You have to do it during the Declare Blocker step after blockers are declared. So after blockers are declared, we're going to activate Inkfathom Witch to make all of our creatures into 4/1s. And he's going to take 8. Inkfathom Witch, actually a very important part of this deck. It allows all of your creatures to really just get souped up. Incredibly souped up. So very important. So yeah, Balefire Dragon. Sarpadian Empire's Volume the 7th comes out. It's 3 mana for a rare artifact from Time Spiral. When it enters the battlefield, you choose white citizen, blue cameron, black thrall, red goblin, or green sapperling. You can pay 3 and tap it to put a 1/1 creature token of the chosen color and type onto the battlefield. Now, the next deck we're playing against is going to be a really great legendary creature that came out of Dragon's Maze. That's Tajic, Blade of Legion. Don't let the wobbly sword fool you. This 2 red and a white 2/2 indestructible human soldier is an amazing general. He's got Battalion that reads whenever Tajic, Blade of Legion, at least 2 other creatures attack, Tajic gets +5/+5 until end of turn. With the cards played so far, this deck could be 2 different things. It could be a knight deck or a soldier deck or just a red-white aggressive deck. Well, that's 3 different things, but you get the idea. It could either be a tribal-based deck or it could be a just red-white Boros aggro deck. Either of them being very good ways to play this build. The strength of Tajic decks is in the Battalion ability, because in the Battalion ability, if you get to use that ability multiple times, you can really kind of close out games. Well, you can close out games. Not kind of, you can close out games pretty quickly. He becomes a 7/7, and the best part about having 7 power in EDH is that on your general, is that it only takes 3 swings to kill your opponent through 21 general damage, which again is explicitly combat damage. And that's pretty much where we're at. Also, Bone Splitter on the battlefield. You pay 1 to equip a creature. It's a 1 mana artifact equipment that you pay 1 to equip. Another pretty cool card coming down, Genesis Chamber, an uncommon artifact out of Darksteel. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield, if Genesis Chamber is untapped, creature controller puts a 1/1 colorless mirror artifact creature token onto the battlefield. So this turn, we can either pump up our Misfolks or play Creeping Tar Pit. Sorry, pump up our creatures to play Creeping Tar Pit. This turn, I really want to get out Thought of Adele while I can. So what we're going to do is we're going to... Basically, I'm going to call it even up... Well, we could do a couple of things this turn. If we want to just keep going with the creatures on the battlefield and make sure we can use Stolen Identity next turn, we should attack Misfolk at Hurry Boy and Inkfathom Witch at Garruk Wildspeaker in order to eliminate both cards. Garruk Wildspeaker allowing Rubinia player to be able to untap his lands, which is something we might want to avoid or just keep in check. That being said, him getting to 6 I don't really see as being a problem right now. This is a very big turning point in this game. We could either put 8 on the Maelstrom Wanderer deck, which at this point doesn't seem that important. We could put... Oh! We can't put 8. He can make a 1/1 at instant speed with Sarpadian, so we can't attack Inkfathom Witch that way. You know what we're going to do? We are just going to put Garruk to 1 here. We're going to lay down Thought of Adele, and we're going to play the Creeping Tar Pit. This I do feel is the best use of our mana. It also kind of tells the table that we're not trying to gang up on anybody. Politics is very important in EDH. Just super, super important, and we're going to try and play it the best we can. We're going to play the Thought of Adele. We're going to lay down a Creeping Tar Pit. We're also going to get a 1/1, which is pretty cool. Very good with Inkfathom Witch. Play the Creeping Tar Pit. And I don't think we'll ever need to put this on the top of our library, so we're just going to tap and pass. Now, the last deck we're playing against, I'm going to put Mirko Vosk down here. This is our commander. Is going to be Rubinia, Soulsinger. Rubinia for 2 green, white, blue is a 2/3 legendary fairy. Now, you may choose not to untap Rubinia during our untap step, and you can tap her to gain control target creature for as long as you control Rubinia, and Rubinia remains tapped. The good part about playing Thought of Adele here is it also lets us scout out our opponent's deck, and by playing the Creeping Tar Pit, we'll be able to, no matter what, play Stolen Identity on this next turn. Even though we miss out on 1 turn of 4/1s, we still are in a good place. And this helps out our case if the board gets Wrath, really. Well, no, the other play would have helped if the board got Wrath, but I don't think our white-red deck is going to Wrath the board. With Intangible Virtue coming down, we can expect a red-white tokens deck, possibly out of the Tajic deck. Intangible Virtue, 1 and a white, creature tokens you control get +1/+1 and have Vigilance. We now have a 3/2 Vigilant Cobalt to Keep. We'll take 3 damage here, and we'll let it go. As far as cards I worry about out of the... Oh, we could just block this thing? You know what? I want to keep the Mirror back. We don't have many ways to Anthem, and with Inkfathom Witch on the battlefield, losing creatures isn't something we want to do. We can turn this guy into a 4/1 with a low, low price of 4 mana, which is something I really want to do. So hopefully we get to do that. Tajic coming down. Good news, we can steal its identity or make sure it doesn't untap. Either one of those just hallmarks of what this deck can actually accomplish. Our opponent's going to put a 1/1 black Thrall into play at the end of turn. This is why we didn't attack with Inkfathom Witch. Inkfathom Witch does have fear. It doesn't have Shadow. So he would have been able to block with his Thrall. We would have lost the 1/1 Inkfathom Witch, and really would have lost a key part of our deck. So there's the reasoning. Mere Propagator coming down. Very interesting. I'm really excited to hit this guy with Thought Adele and see what in the world is going on. Did not expect the Propagator. This could be a tribal Mirror deck, possibly, with Genesis Chamber. I am kind of excited to see what's going to come out of this Maelstrom Wanderer deck, and very apprehensive at the same time. I'm very scared as to what can come out of this this Maelstrom Wanderer deck. So we're definitely going to hit him with Thought Adele, see what's inside of that library, and really scope out what this guy's trying to do. He is gaining a lot of life off a life gift, so we got to make sure to keep that in check as well. This turn, I think we're going to play Hands of Binding and Mirko Vosk. We're going to Hands of Binding down the Tajic. We'll probably just... You know what? We're actually going to Hands of Binding and use Inkfathom Witch this turn. Getting out Mirko Vosk, I'm going to be honest with you guys, we don't really use him. He's a 2/4 flyer, and he has a very negligible ability for this deck. We're not trying to mill anybody out. We're just trying to get our Cypher on. So Enlightened Tutor coming down at end of turn for the Rubinia deck. Probably getting some sort of mana fixing. Our opponent's been stuck on 4 lands for a while. This may be something like Armorily Sphere. Could be a Chronomantic Lantern. Chromatic Lantern. Could be a Soul Ring. You never know. He may have Boundless Realms in hand. I can see getting a Soul Ring if you have Boundless Realms in hand, which could be copied by the Devonok player. But we'll find out right now. I'm assuming he needs lands to win, so he's got to have something to do with lands this turn. Doesn't have to, but I would hope. How about that? I would hope he has something to do with lands this turn. For 6, it's not... It's Sylvan Primordial. Not Prime Time, Sylvan Primordial. So we go down to 4 lands this turn. Sylvan Primordial going to destroy a non-creature permanent for each player. Probably destroy the Intangible Virtue. Probably this Genesis Chamber. This is actually the scariest card in the battlefield. Yep, he's going to destroy the Genesis Chamber. Don't really care about him gaining life. Genesis Chamber can lead to some very not fun interactions, so don't want to leave this guy in the battlefield for that long. We all got a mirror, though, which is cool. And he gains 3 life due to life gift. So now, if we really wanted to be... So there is something I like to do. It's not always the nicest thing to do, but it's something that I kind of prefer doing in these type of situations. And I call it... Not punishing. It's like punishing. Basically, we punish our opponents for playing the cards in their deck, especially cards like Sylvan Primordial. So we may just use Stolen Identity multiple times on Sylvan Primordial to destroy his land base. And just his land base. You can choose only one target if you want. Wait, you didn't destroy the Intangible Virtue? He destroyed the Kerkeep. Very interesting choice. So we have to lock down this Tajic then. That's what we'll do. We use Hands of Binding to lock down the Tajic. It's going to tap target creature and opponent controls. It doesn't tap during its controller's next on tap step. Now, I did want to send this Thalkos Mistfolk at the Garrick this turn in order to prevent it from basically being able to be used again. But I think we still will. We just won't be able to cast it again this turn, basically. Not really a problem, just something to think about. So we are going to send the Thought Adele at the Maelstrom Wanderer deck. I'm really interested as to what's going on over here. I don't know, is it like an ABC deck? Is it a mere tribal deck? I'm excited to see what's going on. So we're gonna send that way. We're gonna send the Mistfolk this way, and we're gonna keep Inkfathom Witch home because it has fear and not intimidate, or just because it has fear. All the mirrors can block it, and it is a very fragile 1/1. Now he didn't cast the Mirror Signet before our attacks because of Thought Adele's ability. It's an island walking 2/2 that whenever it deals combat damage to a player, get to search that player's library for an artifact card and exile it. Then that player shuffles their library until end of turn. You may play that card. So we're going to leave up 3 mana just in case he has an artifact in his deck we want to play. Also, we might just want to exile a specific artifact in here. Yep. Ooh. Okay, knowledge pool. We got a lot of mirrors. We got a lot of very weird cards. We got Warp World, Tyrants of Discord, Tomorrow is Always Familiar, Scrambleverse, Mana Cache. Oh, are we the random deck? We might be Random Rug. Grip of Chaos. Oh gosh, we're the random deck. Oh gosh, I dislike this deck a lot. I'm not a big fan of random decks. I just don't get the point of them. So with the Burning Inquiry, Grip of Chaos, Scrambleverse, Planeswalker's Fury, and Tyrant of Discord, this deck is built off of interesting, in quotation marks, interesting random abilities. That being said, we do have to look for a card for us to grab out of here. We have 3 mana available. We may grab the Proteus Staff. This is a good way to get extra value out of our own creatures, like the Mirror, in play. I really wish he had... Might just get... Do we need to exile something in particular is a good question. I don't think we need to exile anything in particular. We might get Basalt Monolith. The extra mana in our deck won't really help us, though. I'm tempted... Well, we can't cast Charlotte's Ancient. So the things we can cast: Sword of Body and Mind, Mimic Vat, Proteus Staff, O-Stone, Druidic Satchel, Darksteel Ingot, and Soul Ring. Honestly, guys, we're just going to get the Soul Ring. And the reason why we're getting Soul Ring is it allows us to also cast this Dimir Signet. And now we have pretty much all the mana we would want. We are, again, leaving back the Mirror and the Inkfathom Infiltrate on purpose, and we'll pretend we have a counterspell up, even though we 100% don't have counterspells in this deck. Looks like Riftmark Knight coming into play next turn. Now, the reason why we didn't get to cast Hands of Binding again is because it does explicitly say whenever it deals damage to a player, combat damage to a player, not to a player or planeswalker. So when we killed Garruk with our Thalkos Mistfolk, we weren't able to recast the Hands of Binding. Another thing to always keep in mind when playing as Boros decks is the fact that it could be a Sunforger deck. Sunforger, an amazing rare out of Ravnica for 3 mana. It's a rare artifact that also equips for 3. And you can pay red and a white to unequip it after equipping it for 3. Well, the equipped creature gets +4/+0. When you unequip it for red and a white, you can cast an instant sorcery, a red or white instant with CMC 4 or less from your deck. I'm still very surprised he didn't take out the Intangible Virtue. The reason why I think it may have been a better call to take out the Intangible Virtue, I should definitely explain myself, is because with a dedicated token strategy, it's much better to get rid of the Anthems than to get rid of a Token Maker. There's less Anthems than Token Makers in a token making strategy, especially one as good as Intangible Virtue for this type of deck. So, I think that might have been a better way to go. That being said, I am not his mother, so he can do whatever he so pleases. If he wants to put his feet up on the dashboard, he can put his feet up on the dashboard. Some other cool cards in the battlefield. We do have a Mirror Propagator. For 3 mana, it's a rare Mirror from Scars of Mirrodin. You can pay 3 to tap it to put a token that's a copy of Mirror Propagator onto the battlefield. Ooh, we got a different art for the Thrall. That's awesome. So it's Arpade Empires Volume the 7th, giving us a different art for the Thrall every single time. Thrall's a very storied creature type in Magic, usually used to sacrifice Mesmeric Orb. Alright, looks like we're playing Mirko Vosk this game. Usually used to be sacrificed to gain a lot of mana, stuff like Basal Thrall for that situation. Tombstone Farewell, I think, also gives you Thralls. No, that gives you zombies. Just a classic archetype. There used to be like armor thralls that gave you like +1/+2 counters. Kind of phased out recently. Not a lot of thralling going on nowadays, but doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Just means it's an interesting thing. Mesmeric Orb does hit the battlefield. Probably one of the best mill spells ever. For 2 mana, it's a rare out of Mirrodin. Whenever a permanent becomes untapped, that permanent's controller puts the top whenever the controlling player puts the top card of his or her library into their graveyard. Urban Evolution, Devastation Tide, Raven's Familiar, Momentary Blink. Bollocks. Alright. We got Blink. He doesn't have blue yet, which is good. Alright. So this looks like it's going to be a Rubinia Blink deck. I didn't know that was a thing, to be fair. I guess we should have known off a Dust Elemental. This is 2 white for a flash 6/6 that puts 3 creatures you control to their owner's hand. Very good in Blink decks as well. Also, just a random 6/6 flying with fear. You know, not that bad. But yeah, especially after seeing Momentary Blink, this is probably going to be a Rubinia Blink deck. Bant, actually amazing colors for Blink. Has some of the strongest Blink spells in it. We're talking about cards like Momentary Blink, Revelark, Flicker Form, Ghost Way, even Sun Disappearance can be used on yourself. I wouldn't suggest it most of the time, but it can be. Alright, so we are going to mill a couple of cards into our graveyard. One of the coolest things you can do on MTGO is use the key known as F7. It automatically stacks triggered abilities that are of the same name. Now, oh, not Coastal Piracy. Alright, so we lost some pretty important cards for us. Shadow Slice, one of the best ways for us to deal damage. Coastal Piracy, one of the best ways for us to draw nearly infinite cards. Now, here's something fun we can do. And if you're like me, you like doing fun things. So, I think we're going to use Stolen Identity to make a copy of Mesmeric Orb, to then make another copy of Mesmeric Orb, and then just laugh at the hilarity of the situation. That's kind of just something fun I want to do this turn. It's either that or make copies of Sylvan Primordial. I don't really want to do that. This option seems so much worse than this option. So you can yell at me later, but I really think this is just so much better. Not like better like play wise, better like fun wise. So we're gonna make a copy of Mesmeric Orb. I really hope this works. Come on. Come on. Come on. Let it resolve. Yeah! I would love to use Cypher. Let me Cypher it onto this. I don't know. Thought Adele? We could Cypher onto Thalkos Mistfolk again. It is a 2/1 that's very, very, very likely to be removed. Our Ink Fathom Infiltrator isn't getting anywhere. And Thought Adele is currently only hitting our top right player. I think, yeah, we still go for Thalkos Mistfolk. It is unblockable because it does have Shadow. So that's the best route for us to go here. We are going to swing in at Hurry Boy with the Thalkos. No, we're not. He might kill it. We're going to swing in at Scooter 030. And Thought Adele again going to go at the player with Islands. We might steal something else out of his deck. We'll have to see what's in there. Maybe Proteus Staff might be decent. We'll figure it out. So we're going to... we're going to make another copy of Mesmeric Orb. Because, you know, why not? And we're going to make another copy of Hands of Binding. Let me think. What's the likelihood of him putting out 2 instant speed creatures? Very likely. So we're going to keep Tajic tapped down here. And we're not going to tap any more mana for like the rest of the game. So we're going to grab something else with Thought Adele. We have 3 mana left open. We could grab Mimic Vat, Druidic Satchel, Darkshell Ingot, Crystal Ball, Basalt Monolith to kill ourselves. We can mill ourselves with Basalt Monolith, like if we wanted to. Yeah, we could mill ourselves with Basalt Monolith really quickly. We don't want to do that. So maybe grab the O-Stone. Well, actually, we're just going to... Yeah. Oh, wait. Sword of Body and Mind? You don't say. Alright, we're going full-on mill. It's never a good idea to go full-on mill, but today we go full-on mill. We're going to grab the Sword of Body and Mind. We're playing a Dimir deck, right? So we should play just mill cards. Uh-oh. There's an Into the Core at the end of turn. It was! No, it was a Chaos Warp. He turned... What did this guy just do? What? Oh. Oh, he used Chaos Warp on his own Sword of Body and Mind, which then gave him a Magus of the Scroll. Because he was the owner of the permanent, he got to flip a card into play. Which is pretty cool. That's a very good idea, I guess. That being said, let the milling commence. We're going to mill 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 30 cards next turn. You know, a normal amount. Oh, yeah! Very good. We kept Tajic not tapped down because Riftmark Knight's coming back into play. We're going to enter play this turn because he was spending for 3 turns. Wait, what? Oh, I didn't know that's how that read. Huh. Cool. So you get 2 creatures when this guy comes into play. When the last time counter is removed from a Riftmark Knight while it's exiled, put a 2/2 Black Knight creature token with flanking, protection from white, and haste onto the battlefield. So we got our 3/3 flanking prot White Knight. I actually don't know who you kill in this situation. I think you try and kill us, but yeah, you probably try and kill us. I think you try and kill us. That being said, we're milling the most cards this turn, so we'll see what happens. Ooh. Alright, we're being attacked by the mirror. That's okay. We'll take the 4 damage. No blocks. We're definitely going to cast Mirko Vosk this game. For the obvious reasons of we've magically turned into a mill deck. I really hope someone just casts Vandal Blast, and we can laugh at our horrible idea. Aura of Silence coming down. Alright, that might get rid of one of the Mesmeric Orbs. 1 double white for an uncommon enchantment from 10th edition. We'll reprint it in 10th edition, sorry. Artifact enchantment spells your opponent's cast cost 2. We're going to just press F7, like I said before. Artifacts and enchantment spells your opponent's cast cost 2 more to cast, and you can sacrifice or destroy target artifact or enchantment. Yeah, get that Mesmeric Orb work in. Oh gosh, just everything. Down to 66 cards already. I am super excited. I hope he casts Maelstrom Wanderer. That would be perfect. Just tap all your mana. I don't mind. I don't think you had an answer for all these Mesmeric Orbs. You have... O-Stone, that's about it. Alright, that's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21 cards milled for a Moldgraph Monstrosity. Moldgraph Monstrosity for 4 triple green is a trampling 8/8. Now, when he dies, you exile it, then return 2 creature cards at random from your graveyard to the battlefield. Oh, that's actually pretty good. We've got some creatures in here we wouldn't want to see on play. Tomorrow is always familiar, actually very dangerous for us. If you draw a card, look at the top 3 cards of your library instead, put one of those cards into your hand and the rest of the body of your library in any order. Turns out, with Tomorrow on the battlefield, you cannot draw cards. You only look at them instead. So you cannot be milled out while Tomorrow is on the battlefield. That's really about it. I have no care for anything else in this library. Well, in the graveyard right now. Alright, so our opponent cycles Krosan Tusker to get the island he so desperately needs. We're going to mill a lot of cards. And Apnap order his triggers. Do. Man, I love this game so much. This is like the best game ever. We will always yield to our own triggers. 48 cards. Ooh! Stronghold Overseer. You don't say. We probably never want to use that. What to do this turn? So we're still ciphering in with both Hands of Binding and Stolen Identity. So we can make a copy of Moldgraph Monstrosity. We could also make another copy of Mesmeric Orb. Our opponent probably sacrifices Aura of Silence in response. So we are going to attack in with Thalkos Mistfolk and with Thada Adel again this turn. This time we're going to send Thada Adel at our Rubinia deck. He did play an Island, and Island Walk happens to work very good. Sorry, happens to work very well against Islands. Now, the card we're going to copy is not going to be Mesmeric Orb. The reason why is because Aura of Silence can be sacrificed in response to kill it. We are going to make a copy of Moldgraph Monstrosity. We also just had a lot of creatures enter our graveyard. Hopefully not Phage. Alright, no Phage. Good. We also had a lot of creatures enter our graveyard, so we would love to use Moldgraph Monstrosity to bring them back. We are going to be able to see our bottom right opponent's deck, though. Look for any artifact we may want. Hopefully he doesn't have any Eldrazi in here, and we can finally figure out what he's going for. Miss Meadow Witch, he's definitely going for a blink deck. So we have Solemn Skullclamp Relic. Relic of Progenitus might be pretty important. Or Phyrexian Metamorph. Right. We can also grab Lightning Greaves to make sure that our creature can't be targeted anymore. We could still grab Mimic Vat, or again, we can grab Metamorph to make another copy of like Molgraph Monstrosity. There's a lot of Wrath effects in this deck. I think we grab Relic. I don't like the idea of our opponents utilizing their graveyard, especially since we're milling them out. So we're going to grab the Relic of Briandus here. We're going to recast Hands of Binding. We're still going to keep Tajic locked down. Going to keep no-sirring that guy. We're going to cast Stolen Identity again. We're going to target Molgraph Monstrosity, because, I don't know, 8/8 seemed like fun. And we're going to go to our turn. Again, we're going to try and tap as little permanence as possible, but... Why do you cost 3 mana, Relic of Vaginas? The heck? Oh, Aura of Silence! Artifacts and enchantment spells your opponent's cast cost 2 more to cast. Oh! Okay. Well, Mirko Vosk it is. We are going to cast our General, like we said before. Milling out our opponent seems to be a theme this game, and we do still need to cast Relic of Bitterness. It saves us from our opponents having Eldrazi in hand. So although we're going to have to mill a lot of permanents again this turn, this is insurance. If our opponents have Eldrazi in their deck, we can exile them with Relic of Vaginas and make sure this keeps going. Now, he may sacrifice Aura of Silence. No, he does not. Also, Relic makes sure that if our own Molgraph Monstrosity dies, we can exile our own Phage in response. The thing about Phage is that if it enters the battlefield from any other way besides being cast from your hand, you lose the game. Which does mean we lose the Warp World. Warp World's very good against our deck. So the problem with Molgraph Monstrosity is that you do get 2 creatures at random from your graveyard. So very scary interaction there. Alright, we have to wait for Devinok to put his triggers onto this deck. There he goes. An Orcish Librarian? Yeah, Orcish Librarian. Love this card. So we are milling 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh gosh, we're milling a lot of cards this turn. We might not be able to attack anymore. Oops. Didn't think of it like that. Oh. That's not a good sign. It's very possible we shouldn't have put... Oh, see, there's a Kozilek. Remove auto yields. Remove the auto yields. Remove them. Come on, go back to me. Alright, so although the shuffle effect will be triggered, in response we're going to exile all cards from all graveyards and draw a card. This is going to cause Kozilek to be exiled, and for his graveyard to also be exiled. Then the shuffle effect won't shuffle anything in, which is why we got Relic of Vaginas. We also get to draw a card, so value. We also get rid of Knowledge Pool. Oh, top left just concedes. Very good Relic of Vaginas. I like this Relic of Vaginas so far. It's like the best one we've cast, especially since that was the person that had the greatest chance of winning this game. Like all he had to do was stay there and not tap permanents. Like that was it. Oh, we even got the Warp World. Good. We can't kill ourselves on accident. Perfect. He's going to reshuffle nothing in, and everything else is going to go out. Own Machine also put into the graveyard. So the funny thing about having multiple Mesmeric Orbs in play, and by funny I mean kind of ironic, and by ironic I mean horrible, is that the person who taps the least amount of permanents wins, especially when there's 3 of these things in play. So Maelstrom Wanderer coming in, he's going to be sacrificing a lot of things here. Ethereum Horn Sculptor also coming into play. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21 already. So he's going down to 21 cards in deck without tapping any other permanents. We're going to like 15, so we got to be careful. Very, very, very careful. I love how the bottom right opponent is just not doing anything because he knows if he just sits there and lets us play out our horrible game plan, one of us will die. That's the smart guy right there. Granted, we still have a Stolen Identity and Hands of Binding on the Stalker's Misfolk, so that's pretty good. No, Grandsacker. Alright, we'll all draw 2 cards and discard a card at random. We actually probably don't want the Dimir Guildgate, just because if we put this into play, it's another 3 cards from the top of our library. Cool! We get a Swiftfoot Boots. Got another Cascade from Maelstrum Wanderer, revealing Mirror Matrix. Mirror Matrix gives all mirrors +1/+1. It itself is indestructible. You can pay 5 mana to put a 1/1 colorless mirror into play. I really want this guy to swing out, because it's just the absolute worst move he can make. Alright, Gruul Turf coming into play. He gets to gain a life, but he returns a land to his hand. Please attack. Just attack. Don't think. Attack. Just... Ah, he didn't attack. Ah, barnacles. Alright. Rubinia deck. Not milling that many cards. We'll have to force him into the situation. Cool things, with the new legendary rules. We do have to start always yielding again because we did undo our auto yields before. With the new legendary rules, we can make a copy of Maelstrum Wanderer with the Stolen Identity and have our own Stolen Identity, which is pretty cool in my book of cool things. It's a big book. Gonna F6 here. He's not going to do anything. Nope, doesn't do anything. Does this? He did not put any flyers into play. We're definitely going to attack with Mirko Vosk. And Falco's Misfolk is going to go at Scooter. We're going to keep Sylvan Primordial tapped down. So again, we're now in the we're not tapping anything plan. It's so many cards. Whoosh. I want to whoosh. Just all of them. Just all of the cards. Oh, stop. Alright, we have 14 cards left. Leyline of the Void? You don't say. Yeah, so we're definitely playing Leyline of the Void. But we are going to start doing our attacks. Going to attack Scooter here. We're going to attack Divinok this way. It's very possible we actually get the win here. Well, not the win. We might mill out Divinok. I don't know if we win the game, per se. And again, we're attacking this way at Scooter, so that we can Hands of Binding down the Sylvan Primordial, so that we can then use Mirko Vosk on him as well. So we're going to get the Hands of Binding, tap down his creature with Reach. Then we're going to make a copy of Maelstrum Wanderer. Well, do we need another Maelstrom Wanderer? What should we get is a good question. What do we want another copy of? We could get another copy of Mesmeric Orb. I think that really kills us more than our opponents. We could get another copy. We could get Maelstrom Wanderer just to make sure everything we have in our hand has haste. It also gives us a 7/5, which is pretty powerful. Yeah, I think we're going to grab a copy of Maelstrom Wanderer here. Alright, so if we mill him for at least 10, alright, I think that's game, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, it's not game, just close. Always yield. All those cards go into his graveyard. Alright, he's now down to 29 cards in deck. If we tap 4 lands, do we lose? So we have... This is 6 cards. No, we can't tap anything. We just got to pass here. Look at all the arrows. Oh gosh, that's so many cards. Oh wow, he's got that beautiful Grove of the Burn Walls art though. Just absolutely enchanting. All right, he's got 7 cards left in deck. If he taps 2 permanents, if he taps 3 permanents, sorry, he loses the game. All right, that's 1 permanent tapped. Oh, untapped. Oh, he's attacking with the Thrall. Noggle. Oh, he's just gonna swing. Is he gonna swing away at us? It looks like he's gonna go for swing away. All right, swing away plan does mean that he's admitting defeat. Now, again, kind of sketchy. If we block with our Moldgraph monstrosity here, we do have the possibility of hitting Phage. It was put into our graveyard, so we got to make sure that guy doesn't die. As far as blocking is concerned, we'll put our 8/8 in front of this 7/5. We'll put a 2/2 in front of the 8/8, and a. That's it. I think we'll just take the rest of the damage. 3, 5, 7, 9, plus 6, 15. All right, that's fine. Hopefully, he doesn't have like Mercadia's Downfall. I'd be kind of embarrassed. Also, kind of funny, we can turn all of his unblocked creatures into 4/1s. This is one of the cool parts of Inkfathom Witch. He's going to turn our Moldgraph monstrosity into a 0/1 without abilities. That is perfect. Now we can't accidentally kill ourselves. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. This is the cutest sheep at the fair right now. We go to 18. We can bring back Nether Trader. We're not going to, because that means we die. So we're not going to bring back Nether Trader. Neither of these times. Alright. So he should be dead during his upkeep, and now we can focus on the Sylvan Primordial player. I mean, that is, unless he destroys all the Mesmeric Orbs. Then he's not dead. Then we're actually in a much worse position. Plays a land for life gift, and passes. Alright, so now we have to focus all of our efforts on not milling ourselves out against Rubinia. Which, if he plays a Wrath spell, it's probably game. Yeah, if he plays a Wrath effect, it's actually game. Well, as in, basically, after this attack step, if he plays a Wrath spell, it's game. The reason why I say that is because he dies during his upkeep due to all the cards he mills, then draws a card. But he has 54 cards on the deck. We have 14. We're going down to 5? No. 8 cards left in library. If he plays a Wrath effect, we can't tap mana to play a permanent. So, hopefully he's not listening. I don't think he is, obviously. So we'll see what his play is this turn. The good news is we can start hitting with Mirko Vosk, and just Mirko Vosk. Oh, do we have to attack with the Salco's Mistfolk too? We might need to. I don't know. It's possible we could get him for damage. Let's see. We have... He puts down Command Tower. Let's see what he plays this turn. He doesn't have to play anything. If he doesn't play anything, our top right opponent dies, which is always good for him. It's an unforced error, if you will. Well, as of the current board state, he's dead. That does not mean that he's 100% dead. He could have multiple other cards to get out of this situation. I don't know what those cards are, but he could have them. After the milling, he could put a card to the top of his library. That's a good way to get out of it. Looks like our bottom right opponent is just going to not play permanents, which is pretty smart as well. Sorry, just not cast spells. Make sure to avoid milling yourself. Put us in a worse position. It's definitely the smarter route to go here. Alright. Alright, 7 cards left in deck. Tandem Lookout in hand. Rexiel and Call of the Nightwing in the graveyard. So yeah, if we attack with both of these, we're dead on the following turn. He's already dead. So, what do? We probably don't play anything. Let him die during his upkeep. Then the following turn, unblockable, 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 4, 4, 8, 16 damage. 16 twice kills him. But we died in mill effects. Darn it. Did we kill ourselves? There might be a way to get out of this on board. Is there a way to get out of this on board? There isn't. Alright. We're just going to not attack and pass here. Let him mill himself out. Hopefully mill himself out, that is. And then there's one Mesmeric Orb down, which is very good for us. That means we only have a price of 2 for everything we tap, which means we get at least... We can get 2 attacks in. No, we can get 2 attacks in with the Thalcos. We can get 1 attack in with Mistfolk and Mirko Vosk. Or just, we can get an attack in with Mistfolk, and then the next turn do something. Alright, so we're going to wish that guy a good game. And then we pass to our next player. Once again, the worst thing we can see this game right now is any sort of Wrath effect. We just are straight dead to a Wrath effect. Let's see what he goes for. Tense, right? I agree. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Don't wrath me, bro. Luxodon Gatekeeper. Artifact creatures and land your opponent's control enter the battlefield tapped. Oh gosh, that's like the perfect card. Wow. Alright. Alright. I like it. I like it a lot. Alright, so how do we win this game? We have to have a way to win this game and not just kill ourselves. So we can attack once with Thalcos Mistfolk. That puts us to 4 cards in library. And then this gets tapped. Right. Attack once with Thalcos puts us at 4 cards in library. Then if we make a creature that puts us to 1 card in library, we have to win on the ensuing turn. So if we tap down Sylvan Primordial and make a copy of Luxodon Gatekeeper, then we can attack in... Right, we would tap him down, make a copy of Gatekeeper, attack him with all of our evasion creatures besides Gatekeeper. Gatekeeper gets blocked. Blocked. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sorry. 4, 8, 12. Only 16 damage there. No way to... Well, if we play Overseer... No, that's not good, because our whole entire team isn't Shadow. We can't make a copy of Mirko, because Legendary rules still exist. Balderdash. How do we get out of this? There must be a way. There must be a way. I really don't want to have killed ourselves. It's kind of embarrassing. What's in our graveyard? We've got Sever the Bloodline. We've got Nether Trader. That's a good way to get ourselves killed. We could just wait to see what we draw. So we can get an attack with Thalcos Mistfolk, right? Tap down something. Tap down the Sylvan Primordial. Get a copy of Luxodon Gatekeeper. We mill 4 cards. We have 1 card left in our draw. We have a draw step. And then that's our last draw step. So after that, we have to win the game. So we're going to get our 1 attack in with Thalcos Mistfolk. There's only 2 Mesmeric Orbs on the battlefield. Just want to establish that. Come on, Mirko. We can win this game. You and me, baby. You and... Uh-oh. Our Thalcos Mistfolk being turned into an ape. Oh. Well, shoot. We could put it on the top of our library, and then it gets milled. Eesh. That wasn't something we wanted to see. Alright, well, we have an ape. It's an adorable ape. We're not going to get back Nether Trader. That changes a lot of things. Okay. Well, your turn. And the worst part is, even though our permanents have haste, right? Because of Gatekeeper, they come into play tapped. So, like, creatures we play or anything like that, just, it doesn't matter. We're going to lose 2 here. Draw Undercity Plague. Attack, sack. Can we sacrifice? We can. So if we attack with Undercity Plague, targeting ourselves, then hit ourselves again with Undercity Plague, we sacrifice both our Mesmeric Orbs. We lose 2 life and 2 cards. Ooh. Cypher! We're going for it. This seems like the only way we can get out of this. So we're going to target ourselves with Undercity Plague. Oh my gosh. What's happened to us? What's happened? Oh my gosh. Alright, we're going to discard Thalco's Dreamweaver, and we're going to sacrifice a Mesmeric Orb. We are going to Cypher it onto this Thought-Adele. This is so bad. I'm sorry. I gotta compose myself for such a bad play. Alright, we're gonna attack for 2. I mean, if he kills a Thought-Adele, it's game. Yeah. Oh, just Decree of Justice. To draw a card. Okay, he's looking for a way to kill Thought-Adele so that we can't get rid of our second Mesmeric Orb. Oh, did he find one? If he found one, again, it's just game. Ray of Command. So he's gonna untap the Thought-Adele. He loses a card, but we're gameless here. The attack fizzles because it's no longer our creature. We weren't able to sacrifice second Mesmeric Orb, which is sad. Sad. It's a fun game, right? It's a game for fun. It's a game for fun. I thought we had it. We were going to Undercity Plague ourselves, lose both of our Mesmeric Orbs, live, start to play some cards out, be able to win this game with Stronghold Overseer. Just the cards weren't there. Alright, well. Looks like we went a little bit too deep. Oh well. He even plays a Mist Metal Witch, which is game. Mist Metal Witch, just an obnoxiously good card. Exile target creature, return that card to the battlefield under control at the beginning of end step. Turns out really good against Cypher, because those creatures are no longer encoded. And just really good in general. So we're going to mill out and draw a card. Necropolis Regent, man, we probably could have won that game. Like, we honestly probably could have won this game. Oh well. Good game, sir. And Mirko Vosk, this time, surviving to the final round. We will win with Mirko Vosk. I know we will. This deck can win. We'll get there. Trust me. This will be the bloody ballad of Mirko Vosk, the Mindrinker, as he attempts to win a game through multiple tries. Thanks for watching. This is a channel dedicated to EDH. Speaking of dedicated to EDH, you can check me out. I also stream live EDH at twitch.tv/mtgradio. You can check me out there. I stream EDH a whole bunch, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Right now, Theros debuts online tomorrow. So if you're looking for Theros cards, I should be able to start playing with them come the weekend. Should be super awesome. Come on by. Have a great night, and go play some Magic. Oh, wait. If you have any suggestions, if you want to see any specific decks, if you want to not see any specific decks again, if you want to see if Mirko Vosk can still win the game, like I know for sure he can, tune in. This deck will win. I promise we'll win a game with this deck. I know we can do it. So, have a great night, guys, and hope to see you again.